Thanks again for checking in as we take a look at your update here on Dorian. Dorian still a major Category 3 storm with 115 mile per hour sustained winds. And this is still a life-threatening storm from the Bahamas to Florida all the way up to North Carolina. The storm surge and flooding is going to be one of the biggest impacts with this again over the next few days. While the International Space Station has been flying over Dorian, this is what it looked like yesterday. A very large, expansive storm. The eye itself was impressive and greater than 20 miles wide, which is just incredible in itself. But again, the latest on Dorian, Category 3 storm, 115 mile per hour sustained winds. The gusts are at 140. It looks like the worst of the wind is starting to inch north of the Bahamas, but we're going to start to see some stronger winds impact Florida and the Carolinas, even Georgia, over the next 2 to 3 days here. Storm surge could be 4 to 7 feet, and the rainfall amounts could be 3 to 6 inches, but isolated 10 to 15 inch amounts, especially as we get closer to, again, Georgia and the Carolinas. But that's what it looks like here. Not quite as defined of an eye wall as what we had yesterday and on Sunday as it was nearing the Bahamas there. The Bahamas just getting completely destroyed. It was a Category 5 storm there with significant wind and storm surge, and we have even some fatalities there. But there's a look at all the watches, warnings, and advisories stretching from Florida all the way to North Carolina. And as I mentioned, a lot of rain here, 3 to 6 inches in a wider spread, but close to 10 or 15 inches as you get closer to the coast, and especially up into the Carolinas. But the storm system itself, it looks like it's going to stay a little bit farther east than the Space Coast. We're still going to get some very significant impacts here, but the worst of the wind will stay just east of the Space Coast here, and then making a closer call with South Carolina, North Carolina, and the Outer Banks as we approach the end of the week. We'll keep you up to date.